Sowore is attacking Peter Obi, and this is not the first time. What I told him the first time was that the more he attacks Peter Obi, the more he demarcates himself. Because Nigerians are looking at both of them positively. So when positive attacks positive, it produces negative. But when positive attacks negative, it produces positive. So the more Sowore attacks Peter Obi, the more he demarcates himself. Why should Sowore call Peter Obi a liar? Why will Sowore say Peter Obi is deceiving the people? The reason we follow Peter Obi is not because of what he does now, but because of what we've always known of him right from the time he was in government. I'm not from the East, but I remember his good works. Apart from that, because I am blessed with evaluative orientation, when I see a good man, I know. Since I started talking about politics so many years ago, right from when I was 18, I have ever been vindicated. Any man I go against ends up leading Nigeria badly. So I know that Peter Obi is a good man. Let me tell you why I can never vote for Sowore. Even if Peter Obi is not there, I won't vote for Sowore because I don't see him as someone with a good heart. The same way I look at Deji Adeyaju, and VDM is beginning to toe their lines when he talks politics. They are beginning to influence him with their ideas. I got to know Sowore when he was not so popular on social media. I started becoming strong on social media since 2011. And by 2012, under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, I was already arguing with Sowore on Facebook. He had a Facebook page then. He's a good writer. Then he was saying all manner of ills against Goodluck Jonathan. I was a supporter of Goodluck Jonathan. You can see that many of those who were against Goodluck Jonathan today are now longing for his administration. So those of us who are consistent, who knew the man was doing well, then are the people you should follow. Because we don't follow the bandwagon. We knew he was good then. We knew he was doing well. But people like Sowore, we see nothing good in Goodluck Jonathan. Instead, Sowore was praising Buhari. And I was like, any man who endorsed Buhari before Buhari came to become our president in 2015 or praised him when he became president, I can never respect such man. Do you know why? Because we did not just start knowing Buhari in 2011. We started knowing Buhari since 2082 when he was head of state. We knew what he did then. So we knew the character of Buhari. And Sowore, how come he did not know Buhari enough for him to know that that man was bringing danger to Nigeria? If I could know Buhari as far back as 2011, if you go check my Facebook posts under the name Fidel Agun, you will see how I was warning Nigerians against Buhari. But Sowore was eulogizing Buhari, believing that Buhari was going to turn Nigeria around with his discipline. So if Sowore could not analyze Buhari's behavior before he became president, how can I trust his sense of judgment? And now to see him attack Peter Obi, I am most disappointed. Who they follow me, no fit miss road. If you don't know what position to take politically, just follow me, hook, line, and sinker. I will never deceive you. Anybody, listen very carefully, I repeat, any man who does not like Peter Obi is a bad person. Any leader who speaks ill of Peter Obi is not a good person. Just simplify it to that angle. Do you know why I'm so confident? I have studied that man. I understand him perfectly. Because me, myself, I'm not an ordinary man. I am a born leader. I am a trained leader. I am an experienced leader. I experienced leadership right from my student union days. I was already a leader on campus. From secondary school, I was a leader. My peers know me. I'm not like the president who does not have history of primary school or secondary school. So with this experience, I can tell a good man. So I put all this together to make my judgment. So when I tell you, any man who dislikes Peter Obi is not a good man, believe me. Don't wait for the person to give you his reason for not liking him. As long as he says he doesn't like Peter Obi, don't even think twice. He's a bad person. Peter Obi is a saint. The day we will allow that man lead this country, Nigeria will start thanking God and blessing that day. So, Mr. Sowore, you are the topic. As long as you continue to attack Peter Obi, you will be demarketing yourself. Look at what you said. Gaslighting the man that he won his mandate, that you were ready to go out for him, but he refused to protest. Look, Peter Obi is not an activist. You are the activist. Peter Obi is a politician, an ex-governor. There are certain things he cannot do. He should come out and protest. You say anybody who wants to fight the oppression of the system at that level must be able to sacrifice his life, right? And you made mention of MKO Abiola. MKO Abiola, first of all, when they refused to announce him as the winner of the 1993 election, he went on exile. It was Nigerians who asked him to come back and fight for his mandate. When he decided to listen to Nigerians, what happened? He paid with his dear life. And when he paid with his dear life, how did his death benefit Nigeria? A man who was never part of his struggle, Obasanjo, became the president. How did MKO Abiola benefit? And then some of you say Peter Obi should have led the protest. Let me tell you, during the Arab Spring, those protests that swam through North Africa had no leader. It was spontaneous. Nigerians are looking for who will lead them. It was spontaneous until Nigerians are ready to come out en masse, rather than waiting for one man to lead the protest. The mandate was for Nigerians and not for Peter Obi. So if anybody needed to fight, it would have been the Nigerian populace, the masses, not Peter Obi. Peter Obi is doing well. You who know how to fight, Sowore, you who is the activist, continue to fight. I like you for that. Because you are an activist and you fight for justice. But that is where it stops. Politically, I don't believe in your sense of judgment. Greatness of heart, I don't trust you. I like men who are great in heart, great-minded fellow. You are not great-minded. That is why you attack Peter Obi so freely. You accuse him of joining forces with the likes of Malami, El-Rufai. Let me tell you what democracy entails. Democracy does not promise the coming together of only the good people within a country. Democracy is about everything that the country has to offer in terms of citizenship. It includes the criminals. Criminals vote. It includes the corrupt people. They also vote. And they have right to be members of any political party. So a political party comprises of all manner of people. You cannot build a clean party. That is why the National Conscience Party of Gani Fawemi did not see the light of the day. If you continue like this, Sowore, you will only campaign and get old campaigning without winning votes, without being able to even lead a local government. You who wants to go forward politically, you must be ready to go into bed with strange bedfellows. It doesn't mean you are going to behave like them. A man whose character is already established. And when he gets to power, his true character will show. And for Peter Obi, that we already know his character. He's tested. A Malami cannot change him. And El-Rufai cannot change him. But because democracy is the government of the majority, you need both the thieves, the past rogues, the present rogues to come together in one party to produce a clean man. So you don't have a point. It's not intellectual when you say Peter Obi is rubbing minds with thieves. It's not a dictator. You cannot become president as an Ireland. You must rub minds. So it's like you are talking to children. You are trying to gaslight Peter Obi. When you say, why should he be in ADC? Is it in your party he will belong? If Peter Obi decides to come to your party now to become the presidential candidate of your party, will you agree? Of course, your selfish interest will not allow you to. You see Peter Obi as the only man that is standing on your way? No. Even if Peter Obi is not there, I, Spookish, will not vote for you. Because I do not believe in your sense of judgment. If you can speak ill of Peter Obi, then you are not a good man. So don't ever think Peter Obi is standing on your way to success. I'm even suspicious of your advocacy for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Are you trying to do it in order to spite Peter Obi? So that the Igbos will say, look at Peter Obi, that is an Igbo man. He is not joining the Igbos to protest for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. Let me tell you, Peter Obi as an Igbo man cannot do what you are doing. He has not even done it, and they are nicknaming him a tribalist. If Peter Obi should go protesting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, they will say, yeah, we said it. We said it. He's a tribal bigot. He is coming because he wants to represent Igbos. So Peter Obi cannot do what you are doing, Sowore. I like you for being an activist. I like the fact that you are protesting for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. But for you to be a president, unless you work with others, gradually climb up. Otherwise, you can't get it this way. You cannot get it this way. Let me just tell you the truth. And the earlier you realize it, the better.